On September 14th, 2 planes carrying 48 migrants landed in Martha's Vineyard, an island off the coast of Massachusetts. The passengers, who were mostly Venezuelan, had boarded the flights in San Antonio, Texas, and stopped over in Florida. They said they had been told that they would be landing in Boston, but flew instead to Martha's Vineyard. Local authorities were blindsided, and they worked with volunteers to open shelters on the island and provide food and supplies that night. The county called it an unexpected humanitarian situation. Florida's move is the latest in an escalating battle between GOP and Democrat-led states. Republican governors said they're trying to highlight the pressure that migration puts on their state's resources and give Democratic officials a taste of their pain. Massachusetts Representative Dylan Fernandez, a Democrat, said many of the Martha's Vineyard migrants didn't know where they were. Fernandez said the island was given no notice about the arrivals, calling the move inhumane and evil. Several of the migrants told reporters that they had been approached near a migrant resource center in San Antonio and told they could travel to Boston for work, housing, and support. The morning after the migrants arrived, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis confirmed that he had organized the planes. He said it was part of the state's relocation program to transport migrants to, quote, sanctuary states.
And all those people in D.C. and New York were beating their chests when Trump was president, saying they were so proud to be sanctuary jurisdictions, saying how bad it was to have a secure border. The minute even a small fraction of what those border towns deal with every day is brought to their front door, they all of a sudden go berserk.
Governor Greg Abbott from Texas and Governor Doug Ducey from Arizona have sent thousands of migrants to Washington, Chicago, and New York in previous months. In fact, on September 15th, hours after DeSantis' planes landed in Martha's Vineyard, more than 100 migrants arrived on buses at Vice President Kamala Harris's home in Washington, D.C. Governor Abbott said Texas would continue sending migrants to sanctuary cities like D.C. until Biden and Harris, quote, do their jobs to secure the border. In a statement, he wrote, the Biden-Harris administration continues ignoring and denying the historic crisis at our southern border. Our supposed border czar, Vice President Kamala Harris, has yet to even visit the border to see firsthand the impact of the open border policies she helped to implement. In 2021, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton said illegal immigration was costing state taxpayers $855 million each year. He called the cost of illegal immigration an unconscionable burden. Governors say the moves were in response to Democratic inaction, which has caused crises in border states, and that blue states should bear more of that burden.
If you believe in open borders, then it's the sanctuary jurisdictions that should have to bear the brunt of the open borders.
A sanctuary state or jurisdiction is anywhere with laws in place to protect people from Immigration Customs Enforcement, or ICE. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, since March 2021, Massachusetts has been a sanctuary state. Other sanctuary states include New York, New Jersey, California, Colorado, and Connecticut. Democrats took issue with the lack of notice from Governor DeSantis' office.
So you can't just bus migrants into cities and they are not prepared to receive them.
Though Massachusetts State Representative Jim McGovern assured the migrants would be, quote, warmly cared for, writing on Twitter, we'll treat them with dignity and respect, not cruelly like DeSantis. Over the 2 days that the migrants were in Martha's Vineyard, they slept at a church and were eventually moved to Joint Base Cape Cod. There, they have been living in dorms and receiving support, according to state officials. But Republican governors said they'll continue sending migrants to sanctuary states until federal action is taken to combat illegal immigration. Doubling down, Governor DeSantis ran an advertisement on Facebook, asking where the next, quote, Biden bus of immigrants should be sent. The president criticized DeSantis and Abbott at the 45th Congressional Hispanic Caucus Gala.
Instead of working with us on solutions, Republicans are playing politics with human beings, using them as props.
California Governor Gavin Newsom called on the Department of Justice to launch an investigation, while a Texas sheriff announced that his office was looking into whether the migrants approached in San Antonio had been victims of crimes.
They were taken to Martha's Vineyard from what we can gather for little more than a photo op, video op, and then they were unceremoniously stranded in Martha's Vineyard.
As midterms approach and Democrats and Republicans gear up for fierce battles for the Senate, House of Representatives, governors' mansions, and state legislatures, illegal immigration remains in the national spotlight. According to a Wall Street Journal poll, immigration is among the top issues of importance to voters this year, among economic growth, abortion, and inflation.